7 days have passed. The body of the man in the suit is gone. All that remains is a dark brown pool of blood, dried, cracked. It looks like a cursed symbol, silently watching every passerby. Even flies won't linger for long. The sky outside feels heavy, oppressive, suffocating. A typhoon is coming. Lead-gray clouds press down on the city's ruins. This dead city is about to face its first cleansing, but just one wall away. Inside the room, it's a completely different scene. A blue flame flickers in the dark. In a Cassian pot, red lava bubbles. This is the most out-of-place color in the apocalypse. Luncheon meat, crispy sausages, and melting cheese. Back in peaceful times, these were called junk food, but now, they're the only thing keeping me sane. The entire city is rotting. Only this pot feels alive. Steam rises, blurring the cold supply crates, and the lines between morality and order. Every bite is an indulgence, a luxury, a sin, and the ultimate mockery of death out there. Until a strange sound slips into my ears. It's not natural. Something like it's trying to force its way into my fortress. I set down my bowl and walk into the workspace. Even after seeing it before, it still makes people's skin crawl. Down in the ground floor corridor, it's still packed tight with hundreds of monsters. To avoid the midday ultraviolet, they pack in like sardines, crammed into every inch of space, heads hanging low, arms limp, motionless. They're in deep hibernation, like exhausted commuters asleep on a subway. Beneath this deathly stillness, it's a destructive force, ready to erupt. But to me, this is the perfect biological minefield. Cut back to the 5th floor. Sure enough, got them. 3 sneaky figures, appearing outside my barred gate. Just some neighbors from this building, to avoid triggering the minefield below. Their feet wrapped in thick cloth, moving like thieves, careful with every step. The slightly chubby man is dripping some kind of liquid onto my door. White smoke starts to rise from it. It has to be a strong acid, or some kind of high concentration cleaner. They're trying to melt the lock without anyone noticing. And that tall, skinny man is holding a hacksaw. He's a smart one. He only dares to run it back and forth. When the wind outside is roaring, when the wind dies, the sawing dies with it. He's trying to stay completely silent, without making a sound, slowly boring through my steel defenses. They're like a swarm of termites lurking in the shadows, chewing their way through the outer wall. There's even another one of them. He's like a broken-legged beetle, clinging tightly to a drain pipe on the red brick wall, dozens of meters above the ground. The wind is so strong, even the camera frame is shaking. He looks like he could fall at any second. Even through the screen, I can almost smell that sour, eager stench coming off him. He's staring at the bracket of my AC unit, and in his eyes, there is nothing but greed. He made his move, decisive and quick, then like a torn rag thrown away. This noise can be considered as paying the entrance fee, and the hungry audience downstairs. It's time for them to enter the arena. I'm not angry. If anything, I even feel a faint urge to laugh. From the abyss below, suddenly, there came a flood of demonic roars. The sound of hurried footsteps echoes throughout the stairwell, causing every single floor to tremble. They want to run, yet also want to turn back and beg me for help, hesitating at the edge of life and death. I figured I should help them along, but I didn't go get my bow and arrows. Instead, I gently pressed that button. Instantly, a piercing high-frequency alarm blared out, erupting through the hallway. It was the charge horn signaling that the meal had begun. That sound was the last straw that broke the camel's back. They scrambled and crawled their way back to the 5th floor. Bang! They tightly locked their front door, looking at the empty hallway on the screen, and the hacksaw left behind on the floor. I slowly loosened my fingers. Sometimes noise works better than arrows. The screams downstairs have already been completely drowned out by the rolling thunder. The real storm has arrived. The world is now nothing but chaos. And this is the perfect time for me to get rid of the parasites in my house. The thick black garbage bags in my hands were packed with cat litter and the filth accumulated over the past few days. At the moment a lightning bolt tore the sky apart, I flung them forcefully into the abyss. The torrential rain instantly swallowed everything, and this apocalyptic disaster served as my perfect cleanup engine. Back in the room, I twisted open the red valve of the rainwater collection system. A cold stream gushed down from the ceiling like a raging waterfall. The water washed over my skin, carrying away not only the smoke and sweat of the past week, but also the layer of deathly gloom that had settled in the corners of my eyes just moments ago. Slipping into quick-dry clothes, I let my whole body sink into the soft beige sofa. The hot tea in my hands steamed, while I listened closely to the violent wind and rain battering the window. The contrast between paradise inside the walls and hell outside gave me a nearly luxurious sense of security, addictive, even giving me the illusion that as long as I didn't step outside, disaster could never get in. Until I happened to glance at the equipment cabinet. The screen of the solar controller glowed with a blinding red light. Input power, 0. Battery voltage, 11.8 volts. The numbers were flashing wildly, and the light suddenly went dark. Outside, the endless rainy season raged on, while the light inside the house was about to go out.